Greetings, my movie ghouls. Welcome back to our Halloween countdown, year number 5. I'm Nate Nielsen from Movie Geek, and I'm joined by Mrs. Movie Geek. And tonight, we watched Hush, directed by Mike Flanagan. So I said directed by Mike Flanagan. It stars Kate Segal and John Gallagher Jr., who was in, what was he in? The Newsroom, remember? And it's about a deaf woman who she sort of secluded herself into some woods in a pretty nice house, actually. I liked it.
A cabin in the woods.
Cabin in the woods. And she's self-sufficient. She's got a neighbour who's quite far away, and then this guy turns up at her window, and he's not a nice person. Basically. I ran away with that. Carry on. What did you think of the film?
Yeah, it was good. The actress is really good. She's in the latest thing about vampires, Midnight Mass on Netflix. So it's the same actress. And she plays a deaf mute who is a writer, and she sort of secluded herself to finish a novel. She can't finish a novel, so she's struggling with the ending, which I believe is quite common with a lot of writers. So she's holed up. She sort of texts her sister a lot. She's Skyping people. The neighbour's over. They're really good friends. And then sort of the neighbour goes, she's cooking her tea, normal things. She starts to Skype a boyfriend, and then she thinks better of it and hangs up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, her ex-boyfriend, I should say. So yeah, and then he's trying to call her back, and she just doesn't want to talk to him. It must have been a bad breakup. Yeah, so she starts going about her everyday sort of evening business, doesn't she? She's washing pots, or she's cooking something.
She burns it in the end, doesn't she?
Yeah, she burns it, and she's cleaning the pan and scrubbing, and behind, or is it to the side? I think it's to the side of her. There's 2 great big double doors, and her neighbour's frantically banging and screaming. I personally think she would have felt the vibration. But I don't
There's
know.
a few things that you think, well, that's in a peripheral.
Yeah,
she'd probably be able to see the movement at
least.
least.
For the sake of the film. So obviously, because she's deaf, she doesn't hear. So she's scrubbing the pan. The guy kills the neighbour outside, pretty much up against the windows.
Yeah, but he seems to be more interested.
Yeah, he starts tapping on the window, and then he sort of drags the woman out. So it's quite sinister. Yeah. And he obviously realises she's deaf, and she's more vulnerable, you know. And he kind of starts toying with her.
Starts playing a game of literally
like
getting into a house and doing little
walking
things
around, and she's like, "Well, door's open," and it's quite it was kind of on your edge of your seat. I felt really anxious watching it because she's alone as a woman as well. I wouldn't probably live in the woods on my own. Neighbours or no neighbours. She acted it really well.
Yeah, she did.
And the guy from the Newsroom, I can't remember what he's called, sorry.
John Gallagher Jr.
Right, he was very good actually as a psycho. When you compare his role in the Newsroom, he's a really nice guy. He did it really well, and he kept a mask on, which made it more sinister. Yeah. So you didn't really know who it was, or it was a bit like, is it her ex-boyfriend, or but there's loads and loads of different things. It kind of takes you throughout the hat. I don't know whether we should ruin it or not.
No, well, it's been out for a while. It's from 2016. It's on Netflix.
Oh, maybe we don't then if it's on Netflix at the minute.
But I think it's been on there for a long time. It might even be a Netflix film because again, it's Mike Flanagan.
Well, yeah, she kind of barricades herself in. He manages to get in. She gets away from it. It's kind of a cat and mouse classic game, but it does keep you on the edge of your seat. It
does, and the thing about it is he is playing such a long game because there is nothing stopping him from getting to her. Yeah. And each time that he does something, she's able to push him back. Yeah. But it does, like you say, it keeps you on your. It's
for his enjoyment, isn't it? Really, because he could just smash the doors in and go and kill her.
And he has a crossbow too, so even if he started to run, he is able to do that.
And she plays out all the escapes in her head because she's a writer, so she's almost doing it as if she's writing the endings to a book.
The endings.
And that's what you kept saying. I think it's the ending to a book. I think that's what it is.
I thought it was going to be a big twist at the end where it wasn't real and it was just the ending to her book.
But like every thought process she has takes it to her being killed because she's either not fast enough or she can't get away, she can't get to the car. There's loads of different things that play out. It's a really well done film.
The stuff that she does as well, though, she's able to get the upper hand a fair few times, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think she surprises him. Yeah. I think at first he enjoys it, and then I think he's like, well,
hang on, I've taken a bit off more than I can chew here.
I mean, the neighbour's husband comes over at one point, and she's upstairs, is she? Yeah. And she's in a room, isn't she, or somewhere? And he pretends to be a cop, so he sort of rocks up with a flashlight, and he's like, oh, we've had reports of a disturbance, and the other woman's husband's like, oh, I'm just looking for my wife, she tends to come here quite a lot. And then I think he gets wise to it. At first he doesn't realise, does he?
No.
And then he gets wise to him. I can't remember which bit. Hi, sweetie. The doggy's in. And he's a really big guy. He's like a sort of a gym guy, isn't he?
Yes.
But he kills him, doesn't he?
I guess that, yeah.
Yeah, he does it.
It's one of those where you're like, no.
So they are fighting, and he puts up, he's going to get his ass whooped, really. And then he gets the knife, and that's the end of it. He gets him in the neck, and he sort of goes to him, you're right, you would have beaten me in a fair fight type of thing. You think he's dead, and he comes back, and he almost gets him, but he bleeds. It's a shame he kind of bleeds.
Yeah, it's like you can see he's like he's sort of choking him out, and you can just every like spurt of blood. It's like he's losing it.
So he almost has get his comeuppance there.
Because I think, doesn't she see him?
Yeah.
She sees him and they see each other.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. It's a good film. And I was expecting the boyfriend and that to come over.
Yeah, I did.
Because it was like, oh, the boyfriend's going to come over and rescue her, or he's going to get killed or something.
Almost like that other one where where the boyfriend turned up.
But yeah, it was good. She does overcome him. We won't go into that, but you should, watch it.
It's very good. Very well
done. The look
done.
on his face is perfect. It's kind of as you imagine how somebody would look when they thought they were going to beat you, and you get the better of them. Yeah, really good film.
It's been one that I've noticed on Netflix a few times.
It's one of them. It's not horror or anything. It's more of a psychological thriller. But if you were a woman that lived on your own, you'd be on edge, I think, if you watched that film. And it made me quite anxious in parts. So I'm going to give it a 4 pumpkins.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give it a 4 too. Just a 4 pumpkins. Shush.
4 too.
Anyway, I'm Nate, the Ultimate Movie Geek, and you're Mr. Movie Geek. Please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified every time we upload a video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night for Wrong Turn. See you later. Sleep tight, everybody.
Bye.